Welcome back to the Colouring Zone. My name's Lena. So today I thought I would share with you my completed pages. It's not quite the end of the month, but I am incredibly busy at the moment. So I thought, well, if I just record part of it and then I will piece it together. So I do apologise if there's sort of like weird cuts. I will try and transition them so you feel like I've just sat down and just shown you all of them. But anyway, so we will get started. So the first one is actually a whip. So I cannot remember whether I've released this video or not. It is for a Neocolour background, so I didn't do the entire page on camera. It was just the background, but this is in, sorry I didn't say, this is in Lulu Mayo's A Million Magical Creatures. I cannot wait for her book to come out. It is coming out in the next, I think it is due out on the 29th. So I'm very, very excited. And I think it's called A Million Sea Creatures. Anyway, so Neocolour background, which I did on camera, as I said, and I did do some splatters, a splatter effect. And look, it did not go through. And, you know, considering, and I did say it in the video, considering this book cost me £3, I mean, it is just, I just absolutely love her artwork, and actually her books are really affordable. So I paid £3 when it's on offer. But I mean, even like the full price I would pay, I mean, they're so worth it. So on this page, it was Neocolours for the background. And then I used a mixture of Stilnovo, G2, I think that's how you say it, pencils, as well as my Bambino jumbo crayons. And it worked really well. No sparkle on this. Oh, apart from, I have put a tiny weeny bit, I think, of some of the extreme glitter on there. But I've only seemed to have put it in one part, which looks a bit odd. But anyway, so I'm really happy with how it came out. And yeah, I will definitely be using my Neocolours more in this paper, on this paper and in her books. So I do apologise for the lighting. It is very dark, gloomy, typical British weather, really. So yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. Anyway, so there's the first one. Now the next one is a postcard, and this is by Klara Mokova, and it's I Believe in Fairies. So apparently I didn't actually write it down, but what I believe I used on this is Prismacolor and also some Inktense, and I'm really happy with the result. So I used Inktense as a base for the majority of things, and then have gone over with some of the Art Spirits. I believe it might be the fairy dust, that magic dust that I've used on her wings. And yeah, I wasn't too keen with the bat, the way I've coloured it, but I'm quite happy with the outcome. I did use a blender pen on here. I believe I actually used this one here, which is the Copic blender. So I was visiting family and looking at houses, and I didn't take my Derwent blender, which I've actually lost. I cannot find it, so I've bought some more because my house is just a bit chaotic at the moment because we are moving. So yeah, anyway, so really enjoyed that one. I absolutely love these postcards, and I will return it to the little postcard book. I don't actually know where it is, if I'm honest. I've got a little booklet, so I am going to return it to this one. So I've just got, so I'm sorry for the glare, guys, but yeah, all of the completed ones I do put in this little portfolio book. So I am going to slot it in there. That's one that I did for Christmas in July this year. So I am just going to slot it in here. I'm sure there will be more that I want to do, definitely before the year's out anyway. As I said, we are moving, so things are just a bit chaotic. So anyway, so yeah, there's my little witch and a bat. So the next one is actually a PDF. Now, I bought this from bought it from Etsy, and the name of the illustrator or her Etsy shop is Radar Prints. Now, I finished this a couple of days ago. It took me an afternoon to finish, which is quite amazing. So I have printed this on the Artful, I think it's watercolour paper, but my printer seems to handle it going through it. So yeah, I just have a normal inkjet printer, nothing fancy. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how this came out. So I used Tombow RBTs as a base of the water-based Tombow markers. And I used a base for everything apart from the girl's skin. And I used Faber-Castell Polychromos over the top. And then I have also used the Art Spirits Rusty Gold, Fool's Gold and the Autumn Shimmer paints as well. So this one here is the Fool's Gold, I think. This one here is the Rusty Gold, and then this is the newest addition to her collection, or one of the newer ones, and that's Autumn Shimmer. And then I used a Rainbow Dust over the acrylic black background. Now I did use the ZSCM, which is an acrylic marker company. And I did actually receive them for a review or for my first impressions on a video, so I will link that up here if you're interested. I mean, you know, I really do like them. They're very easy to use, they're very juicy, I'm not constantly having to pump it. But I did notice there is a bit of a film over the top of it, which I'm not that keen on, whereas the Poscas do seem to be more matte, but I do still think that they're a really good alternative and affordable option. So yeah, really enjoyed this one, very, very quick. Yeah, and I really like the outcome. This paper is quite textured, so when I was going over with the pencils, the Polychromos, you can see on her skin that it's not exactly completely smooth because of the texture of the paper, and I didn't want to press too hard. The other thing that I also used is the Arteza real brush markers as a base for the leaves and certain things. They've got quite delicate colours in that set, so, and it worked really, really nice on this paper. So there is that one. That is Radar Prints, and that is from Etsy. I will link that down below, as I always find it quite difficult. My spelling is atrocious, and I think that's partly why when it doesn't automatically tell you, like, you know, the correct spelling, and you have to put it in exactly to Etsy. So anyway, so there's that one. So the next one is Kelly O'Gorman. So this is her 2021 calendar. It's quite large, as you can see. I'm struggling to get it in shot. So you can now see my very, very messy desk, which I was hoping to hide, but you know, we'll go with it anyway. So I think I have got you in shot. So I have done 2 pages out of here. So the first one is actually a whip, which I'm currently working on. And yeah, it's just so adorable. And do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of In the Night Garden. You know, the little people, the little wooden people in the Night Garden. Anyone that's got kids will know what I'm talking about, but my son absolutely loves that programme. So anyway, so I used an acrylic paint background, probably Tombow Posca, and then I used some Cosmic Shimmer green paste stuff over the top. I just used a paintbrush which completely destroyed it, which I knew would happen, but did it anyway. And then I have used some stickles on here, and then the rest of it pretty much is actually it's Neocolor ones that I've used, and I used a Derwent blender pen to just blend it out. And I'm really happy with how it's coming out. I have used Tombow's And I also did the wrong colour for their skin, used a Statler 360 and realised that it was way too pink and dark, and then I went over it with Illuminance, and I think I've just got away with it actually. I used the buff titanium over the top just to try and like even it out, but yeah, I'm quite pleased with how this one here is coming out, and it's, you know, it's sweet. So there's my current whip, and that blender pen on those Neo ones is brilliant. You can see there is quite a bit of transfer, but I'm not too worried. So there's another one that I've done previously, and yes, at Halloween. I know it is quite early for Halloween, but I don't mind. Hope you guys don't mind either. I used Rembrandt watercolour for the background, Inktense, the travel pan sets of 1 and 2, Renaissance Crown Jewels or Crown Jewels for the little, if I just tilt it you might be able to see, yeah, for the little bauble things, bit of a nod to Christmas coming. And then I used, for the moon, I actually used a Renaissance colours. I'll also link her shop. She, I'm sure you've probably heard of her before, but Renee runs the Renaissance shop on Etsy, and she has absolutely gorgeous paints. And yeah, so I used the Advent calendar from last year, and it's Advent calendar 3 if anyone's interested. But I did just do one coat, and I did think, oh, it probably needed another one. But then I actually quite like the texture of it. I think it works quite well with it being a moon. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with this. I did add some Derwent drawing pencils over the top of the Inktense, which I'm really, really glad I did, because I could have left it, but I just thought, actually, no, I want to sort of just make it that little bit deeper. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how this one here came out. It's probably, it's not my usual really. So I used washi tape on the sides to get this straight, nice line, because otherwise it would have been a mess. So anyway, so there is that one, and that's Kelly O'Gorman's 2021 calendar. I don't think I actually own her 2022 one. I don't think I do anyway. So there is that one. So another bigger book. So this one here is Colour of Daydreams. Very, very beautiful book. This is quite a new illustrator. I think this is her first book, and I think her second one is coming out very, very soon, and it seems to have sort of an autumn Halloween sort of theme to it, and I cannot wait. She has released some sort of like sneak peeks on Instagram, so I have been following that. But yeah, I believe it will be available to pre-order, and I did drop her a message to see whether that was the case. But anyway, so yeah, we will get into it. So I've got a few pages in here. One of them is complete, and then I can't remember whether I showed this or not. I don't think I have. So this one here is, oh no, I think I have shown this one. So this one here is a pastel background, and I use a stencil, and then I've used various metallic gel pens and fine liners and things, so that was good fun. The one that I've done more recently, so it was this one here. So I used Neocolor 2s for the background as well as the ground here. Very summery feeling, like magical fantasy. I used Inktense pencils for quite a lot of it, but I did use Tombow RBTs, which is the water-based markers, as sort of a base for the leaves in particular, particularly down, well, I think it's at the bottom. And I also used a fine liner, and I also used because I wasn't quite happy with these sort of like sunflowers, so I went over in a paint pen, and that worked quite well. I believe they're called Chalkola, which I think I also reviewed, so I will link that here if you're interested. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this page. I mean, it is quite out there, and I did end up using, I think, a little bit of pencil over the top just to try and try and sort of like make it a bit darker up here. But anyway, so yeah, really pleased with that one. I say really pleased, I am pleased with it. I think I've used some stickles as well, and yeah, I'm relatively pleased with it. So there's that one. And then this one here is a work in progress. So this one here is very, very different to what I normally would do. But I am really liking it. I just haven't got around to coming back to it and finishing it. So for the background, I have used Derwent drawing pencils, as well as some fine liners, and also the background was actually a Distress ink. I was cleaning off the brush and then I thought, well, actually, why don't I just do it on a page, because it could be quite a nice base. And I am really pleased with how it's coming out. I just need to come back and finish it. But yeah, I do plan on using this image, or, you know, this page as sort of like how I would, how I use fine liners. But I am really, really quite swamped at the moment. So hopefully I will get round to that. So there is that one. So that is in Colours of Daydreams, and as you can see, it's getting a little bit, you know, getting a bit marked, but that's okay. It is loved. Oh, by the way, the contest, so that Nicolette Delafray obviously hosted, it's her book, she selected some winners, and honestly, and there's some honourable mentions as well, and oh my gosh, they are absolutely stunning. If you want to go and check that out, it is on Instagram. I'll see if I can link actually Nicolette's Instagram in the description below. But yeah, this coloured, it looks, honestly, these guys have done an absolutely fabulous job. So there is that one. So the next one is also quite a bigger book, and this is Mandala Nights. I absolutely love this book. I have completed quite a few in here now, actually. I'm doing pretty well. Maybe one day I'll actually complete it. The paper in here is fantastic. I say fantastic, I mean, it handles a lot of mediums, but I think really it is for sort of marker. I think it is good, geared towards that. So these are my July ones. I completed loads. I just, you know, sat there and just, before I knew it, they were just finished, which is always quite nice. Sort of lose yourself in it. So I think that was last month. So I believe it's this one here. So I completed this. And I used, what did I use? I used Pixie powders for the background, and I really like the effect. It's like sort of like a marbled effect, so that was pretty different. I used Sapphire Crown Jewels by Renaissance for this beautiful blue colour. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see it. I used Neo Colour Ones over a Tombow water-based marker, just to give it a bit of depth, and I actually blended it with Zest It, because actually the Derwent blender pen wasn't really doing very much on this paper. So the dark purple, you can see I did use an Inktense pencil for that, and it is actually called dark purple. I absolutely love that colour. And then I also used some Arteza fine liners on this as well, just to deepen certain areas. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that one. So on this one, I based it, a lot of it, with the Tombow RBT markers, and then I used I used the Art Spirits, Sleepy Poppies, Vintage Pink and Rainbow Dust. And I also used the Celestial Shimmer as well by Honeybee Pigments. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I absolutely love her paints. They are just gorgeous, and I use them all the time, as well as Renee's. And yeah, they, you know, there's some really unique ones in there. And what inspired me to actually use the Sleeping Poppy ones, although it's one of her I think it came out last year actually, and she very kindly sent me the set for Alice in Wonderland as well as the Wizard of Oz. But after swatching it out on camera, it really made me realise that I haven't used that colour that much. So I really wanted to sort of like, you know, make sure that I put it in here. And, you know, it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So there's that one. Now, this one here is a very different to my usual, because I actually used Distress inks. I used a brush and I literally just went over and merged some of the colours, and then I used a Sakura dark colours, the Sakura, I think they're Sakura Moonlight maybe, the Sakura dark colours, I think it's actually the set name. And then I also used some Arteza gel pens, as well as some Neocolor Caran d'Ache, which didn't seem to work very well. So yeah, I didn't bother continuing with that one. But yeah, it's very different to the other ones that I've done, but I do really like it, and I'm sure I will use this technique again. So there is that one. And this is in Mandala Nights by Kalia. I've just realised I also have a whip in here, which I really need to come back to. So I believe I was using Bambino. Yeah, I think it was Bambino crayons I was using on this, as well as some fine liners, and also some Arteza fine liners as well. So yeah, I need to come back to that one. So not yet completed that. So there is that one. And as I said, it's Mandala's Nights and it's by Kalia. Now, the next one is Fairy Touch of Magic, and this is by Klara Markova. So her new book is due to be released quite soon. I think there's been some problems with the printing, as in like they've not quite done it on time, so I think there's a few weeks delay. But yeah, I keep checking on Klara's website to see if it's available, and it is not. I've not checked today though, so I might have a look. But yeah, so I'm really excited for that one there being released. So this one here, I am working on a double page spread, and I am recording this, so you will see, hopefully in October, you will see some videos relating to this page. So I used Inktense pencils as well as Prismacolor. So I used that on the background. In fact, I think pretty much everything is based with Inktense pencils. And I've also done something that I've not done before. I've actually cut out and intend on sticking this on the, or not sticking, but you meant to cut it and then pop it on here. So yeah, I'm really excited for actually getting this page complete, hopefully in time for October. And yeah, as I said, this will be, I'm not going to do the whole, you know, it's going to be separate videos of different elements of this double page spread, because as you can see, there is a lot going on in it. If I just bring it up to the camera, so yeah, I've used Inktense pencils, so this will be a video of the pumpkins as well as the apples, which I'm very pleased with, and I've used Prismacolor over the top, and yeah, I'm really chuffed with it. I'm really chuffed with how it's coming out. I mean, it's taken me a little while, but you know, I think it is coming together. So yeah, so hopefully you will see that in October. So anyway, I will, and this paper managed it pretty well. I mean, it was crumpled, and I have made sure that things are on top of it to sort of thingy it out, and you can't really tell. So I did use a blender. I can't remember which one, if I'm honest, and I haven't written it down. But yeah, so it was, the Prismacolors do tend to bleed through when you use a blender. So I ended up sort of not using a blender, I don't think, actually, on this side. I think it was only this side. I could be wrong. But anyway, so there's that one. So that is in Clara Markova's Fairy Touch of Magic. Absolutely gorgeous book, and cannot wait for her next one to come out. So I do still have some whips on the go, which I've not really added to, unfortunately. So I will be working on them. So a couple of them are in Circle of Life, and there is also a whip in A Million Llamas. So by Lulu Mayer. So I need to get around to them. It's just, yeah, I'm feeling quite stressed, if I'm honest, because I just feel like I've got so much to do and just not enough hours in the day. And in a couple of days I will be finishing my job and I'll be starting my new one, so it's all a bit like, yeah, anyway. But I'm going to leave it there. I don't think there's anything else. It might be that I need to add it on to this. But yeah, I will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Please drop me a comment down below if you've enjoyed it. Is there any particular pages that you really like? And what are you currently working on at the moment? Please give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you so much for all your support, guys. I really appreciate it. You take care. Happy colouring. Bye.